Wait until a few people get in here. Background is Mario Kart and my family, so hopefully you all can hear me pretty well. I'm going to try to talk as loud as I possibly can, close to the mic without being too overbearing, hopefully. Hey, Goose. Hey, what's up, Thomas? What's up, Ron? So we're going to be taking a look at the 3 packages that I got, 2 of which from last year, and the one that just came in the mail from New Hope Fishing Lures today. Wait and see if a couple more people maybe roll in. Yeah. Ron, get back out of here. I'll message it to you over the phone. Yeah, I'm saving the one from today for last, since that's the big one. So anybody in here that doesn't know, Ron hand paints lures and hand carves lures. And some of the ones that he sent me last year were from Christmas. Some of them are mine. Some of them are from my wife. And then he also sends me a mystery New Hope Fishing Lures mystery box every year to fish with. And I didn't get a chance to fish with it last year, but I'm going to show off what's in that box. And then some things that I just purchased from him that he made specifically for me. So I think we'll go ahead and start rolling with some of these real quick. Can everybody hear me okay over Mario Kart? Okay. Good to know. Good to know. All right. So I'm going to start with that swim bait that I kind of showed off in my last live. Hand painted in colors that I love. Kind of like a green pumpkin and that silver and purple. It's got a nice eye on there. Nice glitter in there. Good sound to it. Then we have the 140, I believe, right? This is the 140. It's got like a thud and rattles in there. Like that a lot. This was his take on a lure that I paint called the Banded Coelacanth. And he has color shift in here and different segments. And I really like the way that this came out here. He hand did the eyes on this one too. But yeah, this 140. Still got to put hooks on it, but I'm going to be fishing it. And then he sent some for my wife, which she loves. There's this one here, which is really amazing. It's transparent. I don't know if you can see my finger. Yeah, there. You can see my finger behind there. Really good color pattern. Not very loud at all. Then there's this S-crank here in pink. A little bit of eyelashes for some dazzling out there. And that black crackle on there. Nice rattle in there. And this little fire tiger type perch. Nice little accent there on the tail. Like a hit marker. Hopefully you guys can hear me still through this bag I just set on the mic. It's all right. It didn't break, I promise. All good. All right, so now we're going to get into the mystery box from yesterday. This, or not yesterday, but last year. This one here is the good luck. This is the actual baits that I'm going to be fishing with for the mystery slam. And then in here are some baits that he just added just because. Hey, Jen. Thank you for joining in. And also, one of his stickers. So I'm going to start off with the baits that he did as just extras. And if I believe from last year, Ron, you said there was one bait that I had to choose out of here to put hooks on and fish with part of the slam, correct? All right, cool. So we'll go ahead and start off. This one is actually one of my favorites that you did as the Just Cuz ones. That nice S crank there. You did the eyes on this one as well, right? Then there's this one here, which is also awesome. This little baby walleye. Definitely a bait to go after some walleye. Really like the way that one turned out. Nice profile bait. I wish the color shifts would pick up a lot better. Then we have this one here. Very bright, very bold. The glass eyes are a nice touch. Give it a little bit more bulbous, lifelike look. Then we have this 1.5 here. Nice purple lateral line in there. The baby blue with that goldish tan color and the speckling on the face there. Really like the way this one turned out as well. And the belly, we've got that robin's egg kind of blue color. Really, really nice. We have another one of those walleye looking baits. Nice pattern on here too. Big patches. That orange. I love those purple glass eyes that are on there. This thing is definitely for the river. Then there's this little guy right here, which is a chubby chaser. A little thick, lipless guy here. I like the glass eyes on here too. And the lightning bolt reminds me of my bloopers video, which I think may have been where he got this inspiration for the lightning bolts, was when I summoned lightning in my, Raiden. I had the bloopers video, Attacked by Pigeons. If you haven't seen that, go check that out. I'm pretty sure that's where Raiden's inspiration may have came from. That's an awesome looking bait. I actually think you should paint more of that pattern. And then this guy, I'm going to save that one for last. I'm going to look at this guy first. We've got this one here. I like the design of this one as well. Nice glass clear eyes on there. That robin's egg blue, that orange, and the color shift on there. Again, it's really hard for this camera to pick up that color shift, but it's orange transitional. Hey, Mr. Tully. Thank you for joining in. I'm showing off some of New Hope Fishing lures that he had sent me. Hey, Amy. You'll have to go back to catch the little bit of the baits that I started showing off. But I've got plenty more to show off. This one here is going to go up as just an awesome lure for decorations on a shelf. this thing turned out really awesome. Boom. This is a lobster crank that has been turned into a dragon. Those realistic eyeballs on there. And this is what I believe he calls the electroshock pattern. Which also reminds me of a Taserling from Slugterra, which was a show that I watched with my older boys when they were younger. Electroshock is another awesome color that will slay in the river. And this has a color shifting that blue, and it also has a violet purple that it turns, which the camera's not picking up. Hey, Thump. Thanks for joining in. So now these are the ones that went as the actual mystery box, and I choose one of the ones that I just showed off as part of that one, which I'm going to be doing this slam, and I'm pretty positive, since it's a tradition now, that I'll see one this year too to fish with. But these ones right here are already rigged up with the hooks and ready to fish with, and the ones that are for the slam. So there's this one, which I know is going to get slammed. What this camera's not picking up very well is this rosy pink. It's like a violet color shifter that was sprayed over this pearl white, so it gives it an iridescent look all over the bait, but it's completely transparent, and those black eyes are going to stand out, and it's going to get crushed. I love the way that looks. Yeah, rubber bands. All right, we got a couple of them tucked together here in the rubber band, so I'll get these untangled real quick. There we go. We've got this bigger size S crank. Really, really like this color pattern here. This has a lot of shifters in it. The top is shifting. It's orange violet shifting, which again doesn't pick up on this camera. Got that robin's egg color here, and then we have this orange here, which also is like metallic. Really, really dig that color. Really nice looking lure. Hey, Clip Point, welcome in. Yeah, these are all really nice. And make sure you stick around, because the next box that I open after I get through these are some of his hand carved lures that I personally purchased from him. And we collabed and talked about making them and how I wanted them. And he came up with some really, really awesome stuff. So I can't wait to show that off after I get through here. This is like a grub. This is going to be awesome for creeks. Very lifelike in color. We see these underneath rocks all the time in the front yard when we're looking for earthworms to go fishing with. And then here is his electroshock pattern again, with some bright orange reddish eyes and this nice lipless. Really, really nice. Woo! I seen that. I was gonna ask. I think this might have been like, when I saw Jen's name on here, I was thinking to myself, I was like, maybe Jen painted this version of the electroshock, because it does say Jen right here. You tried talking him out of that one? Now, this one here is one of my favorite ones from the actual ones I have to fish with. And this is like what we describe as, like, for northern guys, the new Fire Tiger, which is a peacock bass. This is Ron's rendition of a peacock bass on this nice 1.5 or 2.5, and I believe this is the one knock. That thing turned out super amazing, and this thing screams smallmouth bite me. Yeah, that's an awesome one, man. I can't wait to use that in the river. I'm also scared too because that pattern is absolutely fantastic. So now we're going to go ahead and jump into the box that just came today. It's unopened. I'm going to use my X-Acto knife here and very carefully and delicately open this thing because I don't want to possibly scratch anything here. It is a work of art. It really is. All right, here we go, Ron. The moment of truth. The one that we've been waiting for. Okay, so this is the ha. So Ron was telling me that everybody that he sends lures to, he has like some fun things that he adds in there. I got Lucky Charms hot cocoa. Yeah. You must know I'm Irish. This is definitely going to be used in coffee because believe it or not, this actually tastes a lot better than most creamers in coffee if you want it a little bit sweeter. All right. Here we go. Okay, so this is the first one here. This is the Plip Plop. And this is the one that he did a one of, and he made a stencil. So here is the stencil that he made. This is the only stencil he made, and he sent it to me because he said he'd never do this pattern again. Unless I chose to use that stencil. And this is a hand-carved Plip Plop. Look at this beautiful masterpiece. You can see the wood grain in the bait. Nice lip on there. Kiss eyes, because we all know that he loves Kiss. Nice sharp treble hooks. And this feathered trailer to go with it to entice. Nice color shifting. I'm trying to get the camera to pick up the pattern, but it's not doing it. But he has like a detail moss green or some sort of green speckling that is inside. There it is a little bit. You can see the crackling. That's green. And there's a little black fleck that's in here as well. And the color shifting. And right on the butt, there is some color shifting purple. Throat's orange. And of course, every hand carved lure of his has the New Hope Fishing Lures sign. This thing is absolutely gorgeous. And as Ron knows, I appreciate his craftsmanship and his artistic creativity and beauty that he makes. And I bought each one of these hand-carved lures for $100 a piece because I believe in his talent and I know that these lures deserve that kind of credibility. I have the smaller Plip Plop, and I caught a fish on it in the very first mystery box he ever sent me. So I know the lures work, and the craftsmanship is absolutely beautiful and well worth the money. So, no, thank you very much, Ron. So this one here is the Gila trout. or Gila trout. I'm not sure how you pronounce it. I actually seen the way that this moved in the water, and I know that it swims very, very well. This is a giant jointed glide bait with a beautiful treble there on the back as well. Very, very big, sharp hooks for muskie. Gila. There we go. Gila trout. I saw the action of this lure and told him I had to have it. Now, this one here, this next one, this is the final one that I had talked with him about and had him create. I told him that I wanted a wake bait because I really, really enjoyed throwing the speed wake from 6 Cents and the blow ups that come off on it. And I wanted one done in his style. And the bill, I ended up throwing it and breaking the bill on the speed wake. So this one I'm going to be more careful with if I decide to throw it, which I'm probably going to use it. This right here, this is amazing and beautiful, and it turned out even better than I ever could imagine. He showed me a picture and he tied the treble for it, but in person, this lure is stunning, and this is, to my knowledge, the first one that you've ever made, Ron. And this right here, ladies and gentlemen, is the New Hope Fishing Lures speed wake or wake bait. That was a very sharp hook that just went into my finger. And this is done in a quick response style color pattern, but he left that beautiful wood grain in that bait, which again, the camera is not doing very much justice to, but you can see some of it right there. The grain of the wood is still seen on the underbelly as if it was the bone color that he painted on the very first quick response that he did. The top has that purple color shift, and of course his signature. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful bait. Hey, Outdoor Jack. Thank you for tuning in. Yes. Dang is right, Amy. This turned out way better than I ever could have imagined as we were just looking. And Ron, correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe this is the very first like speed wake bait jointed bait that you've actually hand carved and made. And I can't wait to throw it. And I'm also scared because I don't want to lose it. So those three in that style, yes. Okay. Awesome. So these three lures I had, like I said, paid $100 a piece for from Ron because his craftsmanship and artistic ability in making those lures is worth that price to me. And helping a friend out and showing him that his lures are worth, more than he ever thinks that they're worth, because he would say that those would be like $25 or $50 and he'd be cool with that. But each one of those, I paid him for what I felt each one of them was worth in his artistic ability and creativity. And I can see the scaling under the light. Yes. It doesn't show up on camera, like you said. It's very, very minuscule and small, but it is there. It is there. Now, everybody that knows Ron, we got to keep telling him that, Goose. We have to keep telling him that because they are amazing the way that he creates these. And I have actually been able to see the way that these perform on the water. Outdoor Jack, yeah. Trying to get the lure sponsorships, but it's incredibly hard. Hey, Ron, maybe you could look into sponsoring. I think that's a hint, wink, wink, maybe there. Yeah, seriously. Round of applause for Ron. But that's not all. Everybody that knows Ron here knows that Ron likes to add certain things. Even though I paid for those baits humbly and flat outright, he still has a bunch of stuff in this box because that's just who Ron is. So we're gonna go ahead and look at this other stuff that Ron decided to make. And one of them, okay, so this one is I'm gonna show this one next because this is another hand carved lure. This bait here, this one right here, I wasn't sure if he was gonna send it to me or not because he said that the action of it didn't work. But I told him that he was more than welcome to send it to me anyways because it was in the paint job that I wanted. It's a unique style bait, and I'm really, really excited to show this off too. And I'm almost wondering, Ron, if I just added maybe some bigger hooks on here, if maybe it would help the weight distribution and actually make the action work. I might play with it if that's something you'd like to see if I get the bigger hooks on there and maybe that helps with the weight distribution and this thing works. And I will send you some videos of it. But this right here is the jointed Plip Plop. This thing is absolutely gorgeous. If the bigger hooks don't add weight to help with the action, or maybe like you said, it being in the river, maybe the river was just too much, maybe it'll work at the local lakes that I go to and do well. This is still going up as a piece on the wall because it's absolutely gorgeous. Yes, the camo toad, jointed Plip Plop, the first of its kind. And it's okay that it, like I said, that even if it doesn't work the way that you wanted it to, I can always try to see if I can make it work. But because it's the first one, it has that clicking. That's what he wanted me to show off. So this right here, regardless of the circumstance, is going up as a masterpiece on the shelf, hanging up forever and ever. So I will never worry about losing this one. All right, so there's two more things now. Okay, I remember him talking to me about this. This is a unique lure that he wanted me to try out. So as you can see, there's an actual lure body here that he painted really, really nicely. Spinner in the front and a trebled. This right here is an experimental lure, and I am going to try to fish with it and see what happens because this is cool. It's unique. I haven't seen very many things like it, and it's really cool looking. And I know how peacock feathers work in water because I tie trebles with peacock feathers. So I know this is going to plume out and look really, really awesome in the water. Trying to find a place to set this here. And then last but certainly not least, this right here is stunning. This is also a musky lure. And this thing, if I'm not mistaken, is this that Tequila Sunrise one that you did, Ron? Psycho Circus. That's an even cooler name. This thing is absolutely gorgeous. The colors are bright. The muskie will look at it, stand out, try to grab it. Very, very sharp hooks. The Psycho Circus. Big, big willow blade. I like that. It's going to give a lot of action, a lot of flash. And there's an area that I was mentioning, I believe in my last live, where the muskie and the pike are actually starting to hit pretty heavy and hard. So I think this actually might be the first thing I take out there and throw because of the flash and the color. I think this might be the way to go. Yeah, I can't wait to see it in the water. Super gorgeous. So that was everything. Those of you that are in here right now, you saw the last box. I'll do a quick recap of all the lures prior to that. Starting with my Electroshock Dragon. That is also like just a keepsake, not going to fish. The Raiden Chubby Chaser. What's up, Beef? The Peacock Bass. This cool crank right here. That Robin's Egg Blue and that orange. It's like a match made in heaven. There's a color shift on here that this camera doesn't pick up. These two awesome walleye lures. This nice S crank right here. Hey, CC. This S crank here. I'm doing a recap of some of the lures that Ron sent me. This little 1.5 here. This giant guy here. That's like the Mac Daddy of all S cranks right there. This one that Jen painted, which reminds me a lot of the Electroshock pattern as well. It's got Jen written right here. That way I never forget it. This crank right here, which is one of my favorites because of its subtlety. With its, like I said, it's really hard with this camera on the computer to pick it up, but it's iridescent all the way around with like 3 different kinds of color shift on there. You can kind of pick it up as it spins. But what's the most beautiful is the headpiece is actually like a very faint pink. And the whole bait's translucent. That thing's going to slay. And then we've got the grub, which is going to be really amazing in creeks. Got my big 140 here. My custom color. He had asked me to pick a few colors that I absolutely like, which was purple, the silver, the green pumpkin, and then there's the sepia on there. All colors that worked really good for me. He hand painted the eye as well. And then Cece, since you just joined in, I want to go back and show you the hand carved lures that I purchased from Ron real quick. That way you can see them before I jump off here. This one is a one of. He actually sent me the stencil so nobody else can have this pattern. He did it on his own. This is my giant Plip Plop. This is the one-of-a-kind wake bait that he did just for me in my quick response pattern, or a take on the quick response pattern. It's absolutely gorgeous. It also has that clacking. the Gila trout. Very sharp hooks. And the one of a kind, one of jointed flip plop and camo toad. Hey, Jason. You came in right at the tail end, bud. So you'll have to go back and take a look. I just did a recap there for Cece. But I got to spend some time with the kids. They've been really, really cool and kept it quiet a little bit and kept it down while they're playing Mario Kart. So I got to give credit where credit's due. They were really, really awesome with me trying to do this live stream. I appreciate all of you that joined in. Ron, thank you so much for painting me such wonderful lures. Like I said, they're worth every penny. And I cannot wait to get out on the water and start throwing these baits. We're about to get into springtime. Hopefully it starts warming up. So with that being said, again, thank all of you for tuning into the live. Until the next one, fish until you flatline.